Okay guys, welcome back to the bench. I'm doing this little intro handheld. It's going to be quick. I've been working on the Heathkit XR2P, kind of pulling my hair out. You can see I don't have much left. This is just an intro telling you what I've been doing. I have been working on it. I explain it as I go. I've been filming this over the past couple of days, an hour here, an hour there, and I'm putting it all together. It's not a couple hours long. They're short videos catching up to where I'm at and what I'm about to do. So thanks for dropping back. Hope you enjoy the video. Click like. Hey guys, you're on YouTube, you know what to do. Click like, subscribe, make a comment. There is a part in here I've asked a question, so if anybody can help me on that, I really appreciate it. Alrighty, get ready. Okay, so I'm still waiting for the proper volume control to come in with the on-off switch, and I'm a little impatient because this is coming from China. It took from the 22nd of July to the 6th of August to make it to about 60 miles away from where I live in New Jersey, and now it's going to take another 6 days for it to come to my house. So just a little frustrated waiting to get that in. So what I did was I went in and I scavenged the transistors out of the modified Zenith 400, Royal 400. You can see I took them out. There's still one in there. I didn't need all 7 of them. So put them in and turned it on and burned out the output transistors. So, okay. So in a second here, I'll show you. I mean, I'm currently, like, you can't hear it because the volume is so low. But I am getting something out of the speaker. Now, I've got my signal tracer, so I can actually see where I've got a signal. And I've got a signal coming out of the driver transistor. So I'm just, again, I also have a signal.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of it that works just the same? It is 95% cheaper and you can get it online. So
I have a signal coming out of the last stage of the IFs. So I've got a signal coming through there, which means that the front end of the radio is working. Not sure. I mean, I've got this wired the way it's supposed to be wired. A little crazy setup. And I'll show you what I mean if I can find the... It's been driving me crazy for days here. Now, if you look at this, the signal comes into the volume control, which is a 1 meg volume control, feeds down into the base of the transistor, okay? But it also feeds through the pot, the 1 meg pot, through another capacitor, and again, it's at the collector. I've looked at other schematics from Heathkit radios. Basically, I'm not used to seeing something like that. Again, I'm not a professional. I don't do this all the time. I'm not familiar with every circuit out there. But if I test, like if I go in, I don't want to short anything out.
take away self-reliance.
That's at the input to the amplifiers, to the amplifier stage, okay? Barely have anything coming out the other side. So I know my audio transformers are okay. I've checked and gone through all of that. As a matter of fact, if I disconnect the speaker and if I can remember which ones I did this on. You can hear I've got an output, but it's not loud enough. And if I adjust the volume control, it just cuts it out completely. So, what's going on? First of all, I don't have the proper transistors. What I do have in there are two SB 516s, which I've gone through and checked the specs. Unfortunately, the output transistors that were in here, R250 and R251, I mean, I can't even find a reference to those anywhere in the transistor books or anything. So what do I do at this point? Well, I went back and I looked at some of Heathkit's previous models, and I found that the similar setup, except for this here, where we're talking about feeding it the signal continuously through, okay, which I don't understand the process behind that. And if somebody knows, please enlighten me on that. I'd appreciate it. But it's minus this line here, this capacitor. And it uses a 2N408. So what do I do? 2N408s, antique radio supply, antique electronic supply, I mean, AES, $4.50 a piece. I might order 3 of them to see how they work. Right now, I'm going to disconnect this capacitor, which is, no, it's the one underneath that you can't see over here. It's this capacitor. And I'm going to see what effect it has on the signal. So stand by. We'll take care of that and then get back to you. Okay, so disconnecting that was my signal tracer. Picked up an increase. Signal tracer is pretty sensitive. So disconnecting this capacitor, which is this capacitor here, had absolutely no effect on the volume of the radio. My thought process was maybe the transistors, since they're not the same transistors, needed a different configuration. So that would be this here, like I saw in the later model of the Heathkit transistor radios. So that didn't have any effect. I'm going to measure some voltages here. I don't know if you can get this out of here. Yeah, when I work, I got stuff all over the place. It takes me about an hour between projects just to straighten things back out again. Okay, let's try voltage. I don't know, you can't see the meter, but I'm gonna test the voltages on the driver, the collector. Now, again, I'm not running this at the 9 volts. I'm running it at about 8 volts. Okay, so the collector is 7.6, 6.19, running it on the reduced voltage. It's understandable. The base should have approximately 1.9, 1.5, that's good. And the emitter, 1.8. Again, that's good because, again, it's reduced voltage. All right, so voltages are good there. Coming up to the output transformers, push-pull. Supposed to have 9 volts on the collectors. And again, 7 volts, that's about what I've got coming out. If I check the voltage, 7 volts, so I have exactly 7 volts there. 7 volts on the other one. The emitter is supposed to be 0. Yeah, it's pretty close to 0. It's pretty close to 0. And the base is 0.2. Again, reduced voltage, reduced all over. So I do have good voltages throughout. My next thing is I'm going to, since I'm waiting for that other pot to come in, I'm actually going to put a lower value pot in. I'm going to take this 1 meg pot out of here and temporarily put in a smaller value to see if that has an effect. If that doesn't have an effect on it, then I'm assuming it's just the transistors don't have enough gain. So with that, I'm going to pause you guys and get back to you in a little bit. Okay, so changing the pot to a smaller value from 1 meg, I went all the way down to, I believe, what's this one? This is 500, 100. I went down to a 50K, and absolutely no change. It's got to be the transistors and the biasing of them. I really don't know. It's going to take me a little while to figure this out, but hey, look, the volume control hasn't come in, so I figured I would do a little work here and see what I could come up with. Until the volume control comes in, I'm going to be doing some testing and just checking things out, seeing if there's another issue. Okay, zooming back down into this. Where's a pointer? I have to make you seasick here. Okay, again, change this pot, lowered the value. Didn't work. Left that pot in. Changed the value of these 2 resistors. I raised the value and I lowered the value. No effect on the volume coming out. Okay. I've even increased the voltage slightly and no effect. So right now, I just think it's the not having the proper transistors here to drive and output. Okay, so what I did do, I had done this earlier, I had gone in and looked up the specs on the transistors that were in the circuit, okay, the originals, in the mixer and IF stages. The mixer I replaced with this one here, and the numbers aren't much different than what's there. What I'm looking at is a 2N408, which was used in a different model of a Heathkit. I don't have the model number with me, but the VCB is 20, and these it was 16. The originals was 16. So, and again, I have no idea what an R251 or an R250 are, because there's no reference to anything in any of the transistor data that I've looked up. So, looks like I might be ordering the 2N408s at $4.50 a pop, $4.50 a pop, to see if I can get this working. The others, again, the audio section, the front end section of this is working. It's the audio section that I can't get working. The only other option that I have right now is to put a small op amp. I could buy one online from eBay, Temu, Alibaba, $4. Feed it with, I got enough power here, I could feed it and feed it directly into a speaker. The whole idea, though, was to get this radio working as original. So I'm going to go along with the 2N408s, see if I can get that working. All right. In the meantime, it's going to be a few more days.